I believe if IDubbbz were to make a content cop on Hassan Piker, I think that would save IDubbbz's career. And I think that's going to be like the biggest face turn in the century. Hello everyone, my name is Anonymous Something. Join the Gang Network today. It starts at 99 cents a month. If you don't want to join the channel though, but you still want to show your love and support to the Gang Network, then there are options below. Super sticker, super thanks, you know the drill. It helps the channel either way. Buy the Gang Network merch today. Link down below, motherfuckers. Also, hype this video to push this video in the algorithm. You know what I mean. Today is the day we are finally going to be talking about IDubbbz, the biggest cock in the history of social media, YouTube, or whatever the fuck.
I actually don't think there's a world
where I appeal to straight women.
You could appeal to straight
You know what?
women.
I think you're right. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. That lines up with my history.
Appealing to like straight women, specifically straight women, I think would be. It's just not your vibe is not.
One of the biggest cuck on the internet. I'm not saying that he's the biggest cuck, because there's probably an even more bigger cuck than him, but he's a cuck nonetheless. Simp dubs. Cock dubs. Now here's the thing. I used to like IDubbbz. I used to be like a fan of IDubbbz. I used to think that he was a funny content creator, creative, funny, he was unstoppable during his prime, the content cop. He was the shit. He was the shit, but now he's just shit.
And it's specifically because I enjoy you guys having your childhood hero ripped away from you. Like I get a lot of joy from your life being disrupted.
All right, he's just plain shit. It all started with a fucking, OnlyFans shit with Anissa, his fucking bitch girlfriend or whatever the fuck she is. And then it got even worse for IDubbbz. Alright? Because recently, more specifically 2025, he joined forces with Hassan Shitker, or Hassan Piker, he teamed up with the idiots. Okay, so why am I all of a sudden talking about IDubbbz? Well, here's the thing. IDubbbz fucked up big time.
I read this last night and I said, this seems like something someone might want to address.
So it says, quick daily reminder that Ethan from H3 is likely a pedophile who has molested his own children. It's a comment.
Now he has this ongoing beef, ongoing drama with, Ethan, H3H3, alright, because of the fucking stupid ass content cop that IDubbbz, uploaded last year, right? That very shitty content cop, if you would even call it that. Or whatever the fuck that video was, I'm not gonna call it the content cop. Right? It's not canon. IDubbbz with his fucking stupid ass VTuber dragon.
I read this last night and I said, this seems like something someone might want to address.
So it's a very shitty situation. I'm like, why would IDubbbz include that? Right? Like, there's no proof of that shit. Why would he feature that, and why would he agree with that shit? Or maybe, platform that shit. What the fuck, man? I think it was a few days later, IDubbbz, all of a sudden, he issued an apology.
I'm sorry to Ethan and Ethan's family for putting that nasty Destiny comment out there. I felt like it was an okay thing to do based on the point I was making, but gross shit shouldn't be spread like that.
Here's the thing. Ethan Klein, H3H3, he said in his podcast that there was he hired a Canadian lawyer, Canadian defamation lawyers, to serve IDubbbz and his bitch wife a legal notice.
This is fantastic, you guys. Ian has issued an apology. The second IDubbbz stopped talking about us happened to coincide when I took into my service some fine Canadian lawyers. That's right, lawyers that specialize in defamation. And by the way, I really don't think that's okay thing to put out. Some fine Canadian defamation lawyers that sent a letter to Anissa and Ian demanding a retraction and a halting of the defamatory statements that I molest my children. And the day after that, the scorched lagoon was slain like smog. There was only one skill shown, and it was the threat of a lawsuit. That's right. It's not because they're principled. It's not because he's above it. In fact, they're hurting bad. Look at him. His shit is fucking falling off so hard.
The apology was posted right after they got served the legal notice or the fucking cease and desist, all right? And then here's the thing, like Ethan talked about the damage has been done. And then Ethan also talked about, since IDubbbz relocated to Canada, the legal shit here with the defamation thing, like the defamation laws here is very different up north.
Because in our great state, we have anti-slap laws that make it extraordinarily difficult to sue public figures for defamation. And we have this extreme appreciation for free speech and the First Amendment. Now, let me tell you something. Ian, he hates America. He wants to get as far away as possible. He thinks this place sucks. So he moved to the northern wall and pledged to the Night Watch. But let me tell you something about Canada, the North. Defamation laws ain't quite the same up there. And when I spoke to an attorney about it and showed it to him, they're like, yeah, no, this is quite bad.
IDubbbz is a piece of shit. He used to be friends with IDubbbz, but now IDubbbz is a piece of shit. IDubbbz betrayed Ethan last year. He betrayed Ethan for the fucking shit squad, right? The piss brigade, or whatever the fuck they call themselves. IDubbbz said that his previous apology was 100% genuine. Okay. But here's the thing.
I was being genuine in my apology because I was reflecting, and I think it was out of line for my own personal, I guess, goals in life and like how I want to be.
It's not very sincere. The only reason IDubbbz was saying that shit, like doing that apology shit, is because he's fucked, right? He doesn't want to get fucked because he knows he's gonna get fucked by Ethan, right, with the lawsuit and shit. IDubbbz states that he is not interested in getting involved in a lawsuit. Yeah, you can say that. You can say you're not interested, but once you get served by the lawsuit, you're done.
So listen, I don't watch the podcast. In fact, it gives me an aneurysm and it like distresses me greatly to watch it. So I only hear it through the grapevine. I have to, to use a little bit of a therapy term, I have to protect my peace. So I don't know what any of the details are, but I think in summary, it looks like he's interested, Ethan, in pursuing a lawsuit here in Canada. I ultimately am just like not interested in like playing that game.
Right? It's over for you. You can't escape that shit. You have to face that shit. Unless you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose a shit ton of dollars. I think IDubbbz is trying to save face because he doesn't want to tell the public, oh, I can't handle the lawsuit because I don't have any fucking money anymore because I've been a stupid idiot since 2025. I lost almost all my audience because of, the bullshit choices I made, right? You know what? All of this shit, it's IDubbbz's fault. So it's really hard. It's really fucking hard to feel bad for IDubbbz because he's done all of this shit to himself. All of this shit. It's his fault. I do have to add that it's partly Anissa's fault as well, because if it wasn't for Anissa ruining IDubbbz's life, ruining IDubbbz's brain, like Anissa being a poison to IDubbbz, she's part to blame for this shit as well. And then IDubbbz has a shit ton of proposals. Okay, so because IDubbbz wants to avoid the lawsuit, he's got a shit ton of proposals. So there was a battle of wit, trial by combat. So I think he suggests boxing or MMA.
A couple other suggestions that the non-creative thinkers in the world might have not considered, okay? Number one, trial by combat. Now, hear me out. Well, number one, I'm being deathly serious when I say that. Deathly serious. I understand that with money comes power in this world that we live in, okay? With money comes power. I would not think to take the position away from someone who, accumulated a colossal amount of wealth, okay? If they want, for instance, if Ethan wants to find a party that will fight in his stead, sorry guys, I'm trying to use words I didn't run through a script or anything. If he has someone who's gonna fight in his stead, that's fine. He can nominate a champion, okay? I am about 8 pounds away from reaching 200 pounds of raw gristle, okay? So it could literally be anyone. I mean anyone, okay? It could be, let's go down the list. It could be one of his disgusting employees. It could be him. Let's just rule that out.
Honestly, that's more entertaining. That's more entertaining. I mean, that version if they were to box, or Ethan would pay someone to box Ian or IDubbbz, I think that's more entertaining than the lawsuit shit. So if it were up to me, and in my opinion, I would rather have them box, or Ethan to hire someone to box or fight, IDubbbz. I think that's better, because it's more entertaining that way. And plus, I'm imagining the content, right? The content, if you know what I mean. All right, so have them fight. If not Ethan himself to fight, then Ethan could hire someone else to fight for him. At least it's something. At least it's fun to watch and entertaining, other than just a lawsuit, all of this shit. At least with this one, they could have like a shit ton of views, a shit ton of hype, a shit ton of money. Everybody wins, all right? They could fight. Or, yeah, they could fight. That's more entertaining, right? And imagine the pay-per-views if that were to happen. But I'm just suggesting. That's just my opinion, right? I think that's better. When I heard this is funny as fuck. So apparently IDubbbz is offering to let his wife, let his wife fight. While IDubbbz sits in the chair, in the corner. So let me get this straight.
There is another option, which is trial by wits. Hat tip, trial by wits. So no, we're not doing a dance battle. That's cringe. I don't think. Also, that is just an immediate victory on my behalf. Okay. Trial by wits. Basically, listen. I know over at the H3H3 podcast, there is. I will participate in whatever. We can debate any topic, whatever it is. I'll pick the losing side as well. I'll pick the deplorable losing side, or better yet, since a lot of people have heat for my lovely and talented wife, Anissa. She can debate something. I'll just fucking sit in the chair in the corner, okay?
That's too specific, IDubbbz. It's like you know a lot about that shit. It's like IDubbbz knows a little too much about sitting in the corner watching his wife do the shit. Yeah, IDubbbz. I mean, good for you. Good for you. So yeah, according to Ethan, no forgiveness and shit, and yeah, he said that he has intention, right? He has intent to move forward with the legal case with IDubbbz. So, he wants to hold IDubbbz accountable for the bullshit he's doing, and
I don't want to sue you, right? I don't want to do all this shit, but at the end of the day, I have made a commitment, and I am the ultimate hater. I look bad, and I'm okay with that, because for me, it's personal, and that's it. That's all it is, and it has been since that moment. And I hope that when you guys have children, that you're never put in a position that upset you as much as that upset me. I don't wish that on anyone, right? Never. I wish it never happened to me either, but it did. And I know the people that participated in it. Maybe they didn't make the call. They participated in the community that applauded it, shouted them out, said they're great people, right? Justified it in their videos. I know who those people are. And to me, that's unacceptable. And it's personal. And I'm just following through on my promises.
yeah, I mean, understandable on Ethan's part, right? Like, because his children is being involved with this shit. And that's the thing. If it were just like influencer versus influencer, YouTuber versus YouTuber, streamer versus streamer, if it was among influencers, yeah, I mean, they can go at it and they could, roast each other for the rest of their lives, talk shit on each other for the rest of their lives, forever and ever and never ending talking shit on one another, right? They can do that shit, but Ethan's children got involved, right? They, brought his family into this bullshit. So, and now, I understand Ethan because he wants to defend his children, and he wants to show people that they should not bring his children onto this bullshit and just let the influencers fight it out, right? So, right there, I respect Ethan's decision, and I understand Ethan, and I think that's his choice, and I understand. I completely understand why, Ethan doesn't want to go to the other route, which is the trial by combat, and then just focus on the lawsuit, all right?
And I am the ultimate hater.
It's like he's embracing the heel character. In wrestling, there's this term called the heel, which is the bad guy. But in this instance, I don't see Ethan as the bad guy here. I see him as the victim, and he's just like the hero, defending his children's honor. That's what I'm seeing, right? He's not the villain in this situation. If anyone is the villain here, it's IDubbbz and Hassan and the Orbiters, right? Those are the real villains, not Ethan Klein, right? Because Ethan Klein right here is the he's the victim in this shit. Although I don't feel bad for the new IDubbbz, but if you would remember IDubbbz from a few years ago, back in 2016, prime IDubbbz, right? Like peak IDubbbz, peak content cop IDubbbz. You would feel sad because this guy used to be awesome. This guy used to be smart. This guy used to be entertaining. But now something happened to him. I believe that Anissa poisoned his mind, or maybe Anissa took IDubbbz's brain, put it in a fucking blender, and hid it somewhere. I believe Anissa stole IDubbbz's soul, heart, and mind and hid it somewhere. And what we are seeing right now, since 2025, since 2020, IDubbbz is a shell of his former self, because I think Anissa took all the energy, took all his spirit out of his body. Anissa took everything from him, right? Like, absorbed the spirit, the soul, the mind, the heart, everything. And now Anissa is controlling this new husk of a man, or, if you would even call him a man, or whatever the fuck IDubbbz is right now. I refuse to believe that this was the IDubbbz of 2016, 2017, and, prime IDubbbz. The IDubbbz who collabed with Filthy Frank and Max Mopo, creating amazing content and entertaining content back in the day, the content cop. I refuse to believe that this is the same IDubbbz, because this is not the same IDubbbz. Whoever this person is, or whoever this shell of a man is, that's not IDubbbz. That's a fake. The real IDubbbz is locked somewhere. The soul of the real IDubbbz is locked somewhere, hidden by Anissa. And the only way to save IDubbbz is to go in, Anissa's basement, find the lock, find the safe, and release the real IDubbbz to the world once again. Right? That's the only way to save. That's the only way to save IDubbbz. Right? IDubbbz, the real IDubbbz is trapped somewhere in Anissa's fucking basement. So we need to find a way to save the real IDubbbz. Alright? I'm calling it now. But here's the thing, in all seriousness, Anissa really did poison IDubbbz's mind and shit, right? And I think the boxing made it worse for IDubbbz, in my opinion, right? But hey, that's just me. What are your thoughts on all this? Like, what are your thoughts on the entire IDubbbz situation? I believe I'm gonna end this video on this one. Right, I'm gonna end this video with this statement. I believe if IDubbbz were to make a content cop on Hassan Piker, I think that would save IDubbbz's career. And I think that's gonna be like the biggest face turn in the century. Alright, I'll see you all in the next video, and AS fucking rules!
I hate all of you!